is Montserrat Ortiz, and today I will be talking about the theory of mind. I'll be using my information from the Nova Project, our book that we were provided that discussed the theory of mind as well. First, I would like to state that the theory of mind is the understanding that we as all human beings are different and exactly how these differences play a part in who we are. It gives us the ability to understand that our beliefs, although are strong in us, they may not be the same beliefs that we see in other people, as well as understand the perspective that each person is different and their experiences do shape that. Now, typically, when we are born with both half a genetic set from our mom and half a genetic set from our dad. These genetics do begin to give us who we are, give us an understanding of how we look like, the color of our hair, the color of our eyes, as well as a little bit of our personality. Now, although that is part of the reason of who we are, it's not the full reason. We also do get exposed to just the beginnings of life around us, just how we're raised, if we are given the proper amount of attention, if we're not, and what type of household we're raised, and what type of social environment we are raised. Each part of that does give a difference as to who we are and how we develop. These differences do go ahead and give us building blocks for how we interact with other people. Now, understanding that helps us understand why everyone's mind is different, because there's just too many factors for us to pinpoint exactly why we act socially a specific way. Now, the theory of mind also works for us to be able to understand each other. It helps us have sympathy for each other. Although you may not have experienced something, you're able to understand why that person in front of you is having a hard time with something. You're able to give them sympathy, comfort, mourn for them, and some people aren't. And that's simply because of how their mind is and how they grew up. And these small differences really do contribute to who we are as human beings, as well as help us understand the people around us. Now, the theory of mind also does work in the sense that when we see someone, we're able to understand if they are upset, if they're happy, if they're hungry. We're able to see these things just by looking at their face, especially if we know the individual. If we know they're usually a bubbly person and suddenly today they're a little more dimmed and dull, we're able to understand that something's wrong. We may not be able to pinpoint exactly what it is, but that right there is how the theory of mind works. Our brain is subconsciously able to make these connections and keep these files of how that person looks like when they're happy, how they look like when they're upset. So when we see that difference, we're able to immediately know that. That shows exactly how our mind is able to subconsciously make these connections, although something has not been said out loud. We're also able to do that with the environment around us. We may not have noticed that someone moved a desk, but we obviously will notice it's in a different place. That right there is exactly how the theory of mind works. Our mind has a mapped out idea of what things are supposed to look like and how they look like, and we use these understandings in order to contribute to our day-to-day life, especially socially. Like I said before, how we grow up and our genetics in us do contribute to this heavily as to how we carry ourselves, especially through experiences. If you are a very introverted person but you meet someone who's extroverted and you spend lots of time with them, you will find yourself putting yourself out there more and feeling more comfortable in yourself because that new experience changed that in you. So even though genetically we are made in a specific way, these aspects, especially the social ones, the personality ones, we are able to change them through experiences. And these experiences help us grow and help us understand the perspective of others. And this also explains why people who stay in the same group are unable to grow their mind and they're unable to see multiple perspectives or multiple beliefs. And that's where the theory of mind differs in each and every person. The theory of mind just basically helps us understand the people around us. It helps us understand the environment around us, as well as helps us understand why someone doesn't understand us. It is a very complex matter, and I'm just lightly touching on it, but I found it very interesting to read about because I've always understood that people are different from me, but being able to see it word for word why and how our mind absorbs that, as well as how subconsciously our mind is constantly working, was very interesting for me. And I really did enjoy reading this chapter, and I really did enjoy understanding the theory of mind, and I hope that the way I explained it helps to understand that in a much more simple manner. But overall, the theory of mind just helps us understand the differences between each other and the sympathy and how we communicate socially with one another. Thank you.